I got a humidifier that adequately humidifies my home, has a large, easy to fill tank, and most importantly, doesn't look like it belongs in a hospital, but actually looks nice. This is the Vornado LUCERNA 3 Alchemy Ultrasonic Humidifier. Opening the box, you get to see a little tidbit of the name Lucerna, which they say has a Latin origin meaning, which is a lamp or an oil lamp. It says Lucerna is Latin for an oil lamp, so lighting became a prominent feature that drove the overall design. I appreciate the little background story, however, just looking at the humidifier, you would kind of get the idea. They also provide a little diagram of how the tank sits on the base, which is nice. Right when I opened the box, I was presented with a little compact get started guide that gives you instructions on how to use it. It goes over filling the tank, cleaning, and how to operate it with the touch controls. After that, you lift out the humidifier and the AC adapter, which thankfully is detachable, so it will be a breeze doing a cleaning routine. You won't have to drag the cord around the house to get your sink and trip and bust your chin open or get electrocuted. On the top, you see the logo Lucerna, and on the bottom, you see the touch controls, which I will go over in a little bit later. On the back is another Lucerna nameplate, which is nice, and on the back is the AC adapter port. When you flip it over, you see the cap where you can fill up the tank from the bottom. The tank holds 1.5 gallons and the humidifier overall is about 18 inches tall. I suggest filling up the bottom of the tank with a pitcher. If you are using a 5-liter pitcher like the one I got at the Dollar Tree, it takes about 3 of those from the sink, or if you have a sink hose, you can easily just fill it up with that. On the top, you can hold it. And they say in the guide that they actually designed the top to be able to use it as a handle, which I thought was pretty thoughtful, especially when you go to carry it back to the base and it's full of water, it gets kind of heavy. Once you plug in the power adapter in the back, you can now touch the power button on the front and watch the magic. On the left of the power button is the illumination button, which has 3 settings. I usually keep mine on the highest setting because I just love the dark amber color. It makes the room look cozy like a small firelit lantern. The light doesn't get too bright, but just enough for a little extra oomph. On the right of the power button is the humidification button, which has 2 settings. And my humidity level with just one of my humidifiers in the bedroom was 37%. Check the link in the description for my video on that humidifier. But only after a couple minutes, the humidity level was able to go up to 54%. And around the time it was time for me to change the tank, the humidity level was 65% in the front of the house. I decided to run it on 50% power the next day. And I think that's the perfect setting for me because it actually keeps my home at a stable 50% humidity level. So it definitely is an efficient device. They say it can humidify a space up to 700 square feet. The 1.5 gallon tank, when I filled it on 100% power, lasted me about 16 hours on high, which is pretty satisfying. I filled it up about 9ish or 10 p.m. in the night, and it lasted until around 5 p.m. the following day. So I was able to fill it up before bed, blast it on high, and leave, go to work, and come back to a humid environment, which I love. When it was finally empty, it automatically stopped. However, the light stays on, which is kind of nice because I like to be able to see where the water level is. So the next test I did was fill the tank up and see how long it lasted on 50% power. And to my surprise, it lasted way longer than I expected. I filled it up around 8:43ish, 9 p.m. and I came back to it the next day around 9 p.m. and it still had water. So I actually went to sleep a second night, woke up, got breakfast, and I seen the tank finally ran out at about 9 a.m., which was the day after next. So if my syntax was out of order, to put that simply, it lasted over 24 hours, around 36 hours. Now I checked their description and time estimate, and they actually said it would last 24 hours on low and 12 hours on high. So I'm happy that my machine exceeded their estimates, or maybe my water is a little thicker or has a thicker consistency, or it's just mixed with gasoline or something. But in any situation, I'm glad I don't have to babysit the humidifier and keep running back and forth from the sink. Speaking of which, the cleaning process is actually not difficult at all, and I will show how simple it is to clean it. They recommend cleaning the machine every 3 days, and whatever you do, try not to have standing water in it for more than 12 hours. So cleaning is actually really simple. This is after all of the water was, I guess, dried out. So I just emptied out whatever was left in it and the base, put in a little bit of bleach, and then go ahead and fill it up with the bleach. And once that is full, you're gonna let that sit for about 20 minutes at the least. And then go ahead and take a paper towel, dip it in the bleach that's in the base, and get rid of the sediment that's usually in tap water, and go on the bottom and just try to get as much as you can at that opening, just to kill anything that is laying there and get rid of any residue so that there's no problems. And go ahead on the top and wipe it off, and then wipe around the base and take a brush. Now this brush actually came with the Levoit humidifier. I don't know why, Vornado, you didn't send us a brush. That would have been helpful, but just go in with the little bleach and water and just scrub around everywhere, because you know there's going to be sediment that's we can't detect with our own eyes sitting around somewhere. Then when you're done, rinse out the tank and the base, and you're ready to fill it up again. Overall, the LUCERNA 3 from Vornado is exactly what I needed to accommodate the space in the front of my home and keep the humidity level at a level I'm comfortable with. I love how it doesn't look like the average humidifier that looks like a medical device in a doctor's office, and it actually looks nice enough to be a decoration piece. Although it does not leave much to be desired, I still desired a few things. I wish it had a digital thermostat on the front so you could monitor the humidity level near the unit directly, and it isn't a smart humidifier, so you can't monitor the current humidity level remotely or have access to any previous data or set up reminders to clean it. Also, it doesn't have the ability to set a certain humidity level and have the option to turn off when it reaches that level and start humidifying when your home gets below that level. So it isn't a smart humidifier. However, the plus to this is that you fill the tank up and it uses the water, so it kind of forces you to put in fresh water more frequently, so the odds of you dying from a bacterial infection that cultured in stagnant water is kind of less. I also wish it could have the option to add essential oils to add a fragrance if I desired. However, I do have a separate oil nebulizer and I don't really need it. Plus, since it only takes water and there isn't any filters to change, it keeps the cleaning process to a bare minimum. So the price, I think, was pretty competitive as well. At the time I'm making the video, the price was approximately $99, and this LUCERNA 3 is the biggest unit they have available right now. They also have a LUCERNA 2 and a LUCERNA 1 that currently goes for $79 and $69 respectively. So with the 1.5 tank capacity, the built-in lamp, unique design, and detachable cord, I would say is sort of priced fairly, especially with the competition. The good news is, if anything goes wrong with it in the next 5 years, it is covered under warranty. And their site says it's a satisfaction guaranteed warranty, so that's the next perk and sense of security for the next 5 years after you purchase it. So as of now, this is my favorite humidifier. This video is not sponsored, just my real thoughts as a real consumer. Please like this video and subscribe. So until next time.